We have a record this week in munis. That is the record on the muni to treasury ratio. Munis are rich. Does that continue?
Look, the technicals are really great for the market. Everyone piled into the asset class at the end of last year when they were worried about the sky falling, and it's just continued all this year. We've had record inflows into mutual funds, and the technicals over the summer are incredibly strong for the asset class. The market, some people think the market may shrink in size by about $40 or $50 billion. Too many bonds maturing and not enough new bonds being created. So, the technical factors for the market are really, really strong right now.
Talk to me more about that, because on a 5-year basis, you've munis really outperforming treasuries, our Bloomberg Barclays aggregate index. I mean, really almost by double digits in some points. How much does that continue this summer and put the size and scope for us into perspective into how much the market could shrink?
Yeah, I mean, you think about a typical muni treasury ratio in 10 years is anywhere from 80 to 100%. It's in the low 70s right now. So the muni market is wound very, very tight right now. I think the technicals, as I said before, are very, very strong over the summer. You're just not going to have enough bonds. So we could hang in there at these levels. But I think this is a time where you really need to be cautious about how you deploy capital. And you think about the 5-year part of the curve right now. A 1-year AAA muni yields 150. A 5-year AAA muni yields 150. You're not getting paid to move out there. So I think for short bonds, really look at that 1 to 2 year space. Try to find a little bit of a credit story where you get some additional spread and hunker down there. But you got to be very cautious when the market is wound this tight.
Talk to me about one of the trades that you were mentioning is getting a little bit defensive. You talked a lot about like the 1 to 2 year. If I were to go further out, where on the yield curve would I go?
Sure. There's so many buying programs in the muni market now with ETFs and people that just have to fill certain buckets. So they buy if they get cash in no matter what. And it's caused people to really hunker down in that 1 to 10 year part of the curve. So Taylor, for your longer purchases, if you can just move out to 12 or 13 years, you get a really nice yield pickup getting out of that area of focus, and you get some really nice roll down potential as those bonds become shorter and shorter.
We'll have to refresh our math on rolling down the yield curve. Another trade that you've been talking a lot about on this program is within Illinois. Sure. Talk to me about those spreads. They've tightened a lot recently. How much further can those tighten?
Yeah, we like that trade a lot. We've done it in our high income fund, our intermediate bond fund. So when we previously spoke, the spread on 10-year Illinois was about 175 basis points over a AAA bond. Today, in 10 years, it's about 140 basis points. With the technicals and the fact that there's really nothing else out there in the muni market like Illinois GOs at that type of spread, I think they could continue to grind lower, and it's still a very, very interesting, at a minimum, carry trade, and I wouldn't be surprised if there's some price return also.
You mentioned Illinois, and that sort of leads me on to thinking we're in the middle of budget season or quickly approaching budget season. Who is going to be the biggest loser?
Look, Illinois is the place you got to watch. That's the show of shows in the muni market. I think there is some real positivity coming out of there. The previous governor, Rauner, pointed out the challenges in Illinois, but there was just so much gridlock. It seems with Governor Pritzker and Speaker Madigan that they're trying to address the problems in the state, and they're trying to actually get things done on time. So that's the one you have to watch, because it's always the, that's the showstopper in the muni bond market. But there is some signs of hope there.